So this time around, my broskis, I got something with me from Strange Scaffold. And who the hell are they, you might ask? Well, they are the developer behind El Paso Elsewhere, but also a bunch of absolutely insane games like Space Warlord Organ Trading Simulator, or why not, an airport for aliens currently run by dogs. Yeah, it is that developer. Now, this time around, they have given us I Am Your Beast, an excellent, super satisfying and ridiculously addictive first-person shooter. This is a fast-paced room-to-room first-person shooter that reminded me of Angerfoot almost immediately. Honestly, I'm surprised more people haven't made that comparison, because they share a lot of the DNA. Both games are built around speed, environmental interaction, and making you feel like an absolute menace. Now, the campaign in I Am Your Beast consists of 27 levels, which isn't a whole lot. You'll probably finish it in around 2 or 3 hours. But once you're done, you unlock 3 additional modes packed with challenge maps that can easily multiply the amount of content. And they're genuinely worth playing. Why? Because the shooting is so goddamn satisfying in this game that I could keep replaying these levels for hours without getting bored. And plus, you're constantly getting better and better the more you replay a level, which is satisfying as hell. Now, yeah, it is a skill-based shooter with a surprisingly heavy narrative focus, and the story does a fantastic job of making you feel even more badass than you already are. The setup, it is simple. You play as a legendary former agent who has disappeared into the woods to live off the grid. Eventually, the government tracks him down and asks him to come back for one last job. Dun dun. Of course he refuses to, and they don't take no for an answer, so they keep sending soldiers after him, and it quickly turns into an all-out bloodbath where both sides are trying to wipe each other out. Thankfully, you happen to be the deadliest agent they have ever created. It just works. Yeah, that story works. Yeah.
Is you sending another company of motherfuckers into my home?
Now, the voice acting also deserves a mention. If you played El Paso Elsewhere, you'll know that the game loved to throw dialogues at you. Personally, I thought it dragged out a bit too much in El Paso Elsewhere. Here though, it's much tighter, gets to the point faster and never really interrupts the action. Plus, it's greatly voice acted, just like in El Paso Elsewhere.
Harding, I know you're listening. You can still come in. We've gone fishing. You've helped my son. I'll put this behind us.
Now, let's talk a bit more about the shooting, because this is where the game absolutely shines. Every weapon you pick up comes from an enemy, and each one only has a single magazine. Once it's empty, you throw the weapon, preferably straight into another enemy's face. If you hit them, they'll drop their own gun, which you can snatch out of mid-air and keep the chain going. It is a very simple mechanic, but it keeps the action flowing constantly when done right, like in this game. Then there is the headshots. Every time you land one, the game briefly freezes for a split second before the enemy's head explodes into this stylized cross effect. Whether you're using the pistol, shotgun, sniper rifle or assault rifle, it never gets old, trust me. Now the hit detection is also the servant of a praise. The game isn't brutally strict if your aim is slightly off. Shots, they still connect in a way that feels fair, making every encounter smooth and satisfying instead of frustrating and impossible. Even if you're not some cracked first-person shooter player, you'll still feel like one. Now visually, the game also looks kinda good. It's clean, easy to read and doesn't put too much strain on your PC. Most systems should have no problem running it, and readability is incredibly important in a game moving this fast. Which, as I said, the game nails. It is perfectly readable. And progression, it's super straightforward. Finish a level, move on to the next. No upgrades, no nothing like that. But the objectives, they keep changing things up just a little bit. Sometimes you need to destroy a few laptops before escaping, other missions require you to eliminate every enemy, one level throws you into near total darkness, another one has you slowly dying from internal bleeding while freezing to death, and one has a helicopter chasing you through the entire map. So there is a little bit of variety here, even though I would have liked to seen a bit more. Where the game does fall a bit short though is in its environments. You're in the forest, then you're in another forest, then you're in a frozen forest. And then you're back in the forest. It definitely feels like a missed opportunity here because the gameplay deserves more varied locations in my opinion. And the same thing goes for the enemy variation. It is fairly limited. You got standard soldiers, helmet enemies, knife guys, sniper guys, and that's about it. They absolutely could have expanded both the environments and the enemy roster here. But here is the thing. The core gameplay is so ridiculously good in this game that I honestly didn't care as much as I probably should have. Everything just feels fantastic to play. I'd happily recommend this game to pretty much anyone, even if you're not normally into lightning fast shooters. This is surprisingly approachable because the game rewards smart play just as much as raw speed. In fact, most levels aren't constantly pushing you with timers. It's much more about learning the mechanics, improving your skills and pulling off moments that make you stop and think, holy shit, did I really just do that? Yeah, you know those moments. Now you will also be climbing trees, running across branches, jumping through the air, shooting an explosive barrel mid-flight and accidentally wiping out 3 enemies in one move. But you will not be doing wall running or anything like that. But the best part, however, the game, it makes you feel like you pulled off something impossible, even though almost anyone can do it. And that is exactly what makes I Am Your Beast so goddamn satisfying. Now, if you enjoy brutal first-person shooter content just like this, remember to hit that like button, subscribe and pop a slim. We will see you in the next one. Over and out.